Can you give us like at least 2 names from your put on and what block? I ain't never seen you at no meeting at Hyde Park, Horace Mann, or at 54th. When did you get put on?
Baby, when did
you get put on? I got put on in 2002. I got put out in 2002 on Eileen Street at June House. Nigga, you know what's up, nigga. Yeah, dead homie. So when you get put on?
No, you haven't, bro. You been in
man, cuz Hillbilly was a part of my put on. Killer Dave was a part of my put on. Oh, the dead homies. My first name was Baby Wild Bill. On the dead homies. And Izzy turned East Coast. That was the third nigga I squabbled. Who did you squabble, gang?
Nigga, I squabbled everybody.
Who? You didn't squabble everybody. Yeah, you would have went home up.
Shut your buster ass up.
You didn't get put on. Hey, shut your bitch ass up. How you come up here with 30 and none of them was from 60s,
Buster ass, hoe ass nigga.
Hey, how many of them was from 60s though?
You ain't like that, nigga.
Only underscore Wireless. Please make sure you include the underscore, and this is only underscore Wireless TV. Of course, please subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and hit the like button for your man's name. But don't forget, don't neglect to check out the Firebeat and Dragon Files playlist. It's basically a mixtape, a project that I released. Over 20 tracks, some original music, some remixes. Support that for your boy. And don't forget to check out the Patreon link in the description. That's where I upload the artwork that's a little too racy for this platform. I didn't know much about Bricc Baby. I knew that he worked with Adam 22. He was a host, a co-host, I don't know, a consultant for No Jumper. And I saw him say a lot of crazy stuff. But this is what I found. And I got to give a credit to famousbirthdays.com. This is it just, when you find out who Bricc Baby is or what Bricc Baby was doing, you'll understand like why I just started laughing. Anyway, Bricc Baby is a rapper from Los Angeles, California, Los Angeles. And again, I got a site, famousbirthdays.com, for this information. So he's best known, this is like his rap career, right? Quote unquote rap career. He's best known for his underground independent releases. In 2014, he released his first mixtape, Son of a Brick Lady, for free online download. He has also toured the US with various artists, including Kid Ink. I didn't know that. And they say that he has collaborated with fellow rappers Young Thug and Future on various projects. Also didn't know that. Bricc Baby has a resume as like a working rapper. I should go check out some of his music. But that's not really what you care about. That's not really what I care about. That's not why I'm here. I'm here to just give you a little pinch, a little teardrop of Bricc Baby's criminal history, man. Bricc Baby is a sociopath. Bricc Baby basically was living his life with 5 stars. Is it 5 stars or 4 stars? I think it's 5 stars. 5 stars from Grand Theft Auto. That's the best way to put it. But you ain't got to take my word for it. So the memorandum is 28 pages long. I made it to about page 7 before I threw in the towel. So Zahir Mitchell, the defendant, Bricc Baby, asked this court to be released pending trial, arguing that a secured property bond is sufficient to reasonably assure his appearance and the safety of any other person or the community. To the contrary, defendant's criminal history shows a dedication to crime and recidivism. No matter, it said a dedication to crime. All right, moreover, his conduct during the investigation in this case shows the same dedication to a life of crime and the inability to comply with the rule of law. Inability. He lacks the ability to conform. All right, so let me skip ahead a little bit. So the indictment first alleges that the defendant, in shooting at individuals, possessed ammunition expelled from a firearm July 12, 2022. Then, June 21st, Oh, that's a birthday. Not my birthday, but special somebody's birthday. Then on June 21st, 2023, defendant was captured on an intercepted call arguing with his significant other, in which she repeatedly recounted that defendant had pointed a gun at her while she was holding his infant child. And we're gonna get back to that because it keeps coming up. Execution of a search warrant at defendant's home followed, and 3 firearms, including an AK-47 style gun. That's ill, like an AK-47 style gun. Like, so it's not, this is custom. And over 125 rounds of ammunition were found. After law enforcement seized those weapons and arrested defendant, he continued undeterred. Undeterred is a fancy word for he really gave zero you-know-whats. In March 2024, defendant erupted at his place of employment, no jumper, threatening individuals in the room and online with death. Threatening them with death. That's just crazy, man, like the way that reads. Fighting security and later admitting to possessing a firearm during that incident. Throughout 2024, defendant made claims online of murdering people and threatening to do the same to others. Then on March 18th, 2025, the day before his arrest in this case, defendant went on a live video podcast with someone whom he previously threatened to kill. That's loose cannon. During the podcast, sitting across from that person, defendant brandished a firearm in his waistband. When defendant was arrested the following day, an unsecured firearm, in parentheses, with multiple magazines of live ammunition, matching that seen in defendant's waistband on the podcast, were found where defendant was staying with his young child. So anything you say can and will be, and anything that you record on video can and will be used against you. Goofy, just goofy. All of the above conduct occurred after years of violent crimes, firearms possession, evading charges, and troubling conduct disseminated throughout the internet. Defendant's lengthy periods of incarceration and supervision have not deterred him from continuing to commit dangerous crimes. There is no reason to believe this arrest will be any different, and the safety of the public demands that defendant remains detained. Man, Bricc Baby is a supervillain. Again, he was running around with 5 stars. In the first several months of 2023, defendant was intercepted on multiple court-authorized Title III wiretaps. So he was wiretapped and kept talking crazy, kept talking reckless, both on his phone and his associates' phones. On multiple calls, defendant discussed criminal activity. Throughout March 2023, defendant discussed how the mother of one of his children accused him of pointing a gun at her, and defendant claimed it was a lie. But, on June 20th to June 20th of 2023, a second person accused defendant of the same conduct. That day, defendant's significant other, 𝐥𝐤𝐤𝐿, stated, quote, "You pulled a gun out on me with your daughter. You pulled a gun out on me in front of your effing daughter. You pointed a gun at me with your bitch ass," unquote. Defendant responded, quote, "I don't give a nigga. I don't give a bitch ever since I've been with you," unquote. So they had a healthy relationship, obviously. The following day, defendant argued with KC again about her picking up her daughter, ordering her to take the effing baby outside, you stupid bitch. You sit in the house all day, you dumbass hoe. I don't know, man. Maybe that's her pet name, dumbass hoe. You know what I mean? Like, maybe he said it with love. KC told defendant she could not walk or drive because defendant, quote, effed up, unquote, her leg. So it just goes on and on and on and on and on. It's like just madness. You got firearms charges. What's this? On February 20th, 2023, defendant stated that he didn't respect the elders in the gang and would pop anyone on 6-0. March 28th, 2023, defendant said that he would body slam the mother of his child on her neck. In the same call, defendant discussed how it felt to kill someone and have to go to school and play basketball the next day. March 2024, defendant crashed out at the place of employment or at his place of employment, threatening to shoot people and eventually fighting a security guard. Defendant later admitted in separate interviews that he had a firearm on him during the altercation and that he brought his daughter with him to the studio. March 18th, 2025, the same individual whom defendant previously threatened and claimed to have more skulls than he had squabbles, that's loose cannon, joined the same podcast. During the filming, defendant showed that he had a handgun in his waistband, and there's a picture of it in the indictment. Defendant is charged with repeatedly possessing a firearm and ammunition despite numerous felony convictions. Oh man, Bricc Baby, man, son of the Brick Lady. So it just goes on and on and on and on and on, man. Like it reads like a Quentin Tarantino script. Bricc Baby is a menace to society, dog. Like, and I'm not saying that to be funny, but it just is funny. This is crazy. Check this out. So Bricc Baby had been arrested multiple times and sentenced to up to 10 years of probation at one point. Several violations of probation that led to other convictions, but those convictions were somehow, like for instance, he was sentenced to 10 years of probation and given a second chance with community service and schooling conditions for some reason. And that happened almost 20 years ago. That's back in 2006, a narcotics and obstruction of law enforcement charge. But this is the craziest, right? In 2010, defendant's criminal charges escalated with a charge for assault with a deadly weapon with great bodily injury likely and a conviction for invading a peace officer in disregard for safety. Defendant was sentenced to 365 days in jail and 3 years probation, a violation of which resulted in 2 years of confinement. According to the certified conviction records and police reports for the original crime, police saw a sex worker enter defendant's car and defendant then sped off upon seeing police. So it's like real Grand Theft Auto activity. Defendant led police on a high-speed chase through stop signs and red lights. At some point, defendant pushed the female out of the moving vehicle. The victim landed on her face and defendant ran over her thigh with his car. Yo, he tumbleweeded her, dog. He like roadkill. The victim later stated she asked to be let out multiple times, but defendant refused, parentheses, until he later threw her out. The victim also stated the defendant said he had something he needed to get rid of during the chase and threw a handgun out of the window. So just complete disregard for the law. I know I'm late to the party, man, but like better late than never, and it was worth it, man. So Bricc Baby was denied bail. You probably already know this if you move in like, you know, the hip hop, the street culture, street hip hop, true crime circle. That's kind of it's like what would that be, like a Venn diagram? That's kind of like the intersection of Bricc Baby, man. Like it's you can say hip hop, but it's really just it's true crime. But what do you think about the Bricc Baby indictment? Let me know in the comment section below. Only _Wallace TV. Out.